being kicked off by a man who is contractually obligated to be here. He wants that very emphasized. Please, welcome to the stage, Gregor of Berlin.
Willkommen, guten Abend, meine Damen und Herren. Welcome and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Gregor of Berlin, and I've come to spread a little Christmas joy. I've decided to call a ceasefire with the management of this 10-foot rat cabaret travesty. Some of you who have been unfortunate enough to attend other 10-foot rat cabarets know that I'm engaged in a legal struggle with the management of this establishment. They have taken my show from me through a series of chicaneries, but they will get their due. But this can wait for January. For now, it is Yuletide, Christmas time. I have come to you with a poem and a folk tale. First, Christmas, a poem by Gregor. Like the ticking of a clock toward an eternal black midnight, like the slow inching down of a guillotine blade, Christmas is coming for us all. But how did it begin? It began with the most beautiful human being who ever walked the earth. Jesus the Christ, the preacher who wanted nothing but love and for his pains was murdered by the brutality of the Roman Empire, which in turn was slaughtered by barbarians from the northern wastes, who were then put to the sword by the Huns of Attila from the east, heralding 2,000 years of darkness, plague, pestilence, wars for profit, wars of ideology, wars of religion, murder for hire, murder for lust, murder for pleasure, and perhaps the most terrifying specter of all, the idea of yet another Christmas dinner with my relatives. And from poetry, we go to prose. There is a folk tale popular among the peasants of Northern Europe. The tale of Rudolf Rotschnauz, familiar to you as Rudolf Red-Nose. Rudolf Rotschnauz was a woodland creature. His life should have been simple, perhaps ending in the jaws of a wolf. But Rudolf Rotschnauz was called to a higher destiny from his very birth. You see, he was born with a bizarre anatomical deformity, a proboscis which glowed with a baleful crimson radiation. The townsfolk, in their ignorance and superstition, assumed that it was the result of some black magical occurrence. Perhaps his mother had fornicated with Satan. Perhaps she had lain with the jackal who gave birth to Leviathan, the beast of the book of Revelations who heralds the apocalypse. Naturally, they shunned poor Rudolph. They did not let him play in their ridiculous amusements. This did not bother Rudolph one bit. Let them go skittering about on a frozen pond. He had a sense of himself. He knew he was called to higher things, that he was the intellectual and cultural superior. He was guided by his emperor's star. And then came the fateful Christmas Eve. The particulate content in the atmosphere of Northern Europe was very dense, owing to the proliferation of smokestack industries. Particulates are combined with the humidity to create a zero ceiling, as they say in avionics. To fly in such weather was suicidal. But Kris Kringle was unable to give up his labor of the evening. You see, the peasants were for him a Machiavellian sort of affair, for he had learned what churches and dictators learn, that if you seize the minds of children under 6, they are yours forever. And he was unwilling to relinquish his power, and so he was forced to do that which he dreaded most. With a pit in his stomach, he approached Rudolph. Rudolph, you and I have never seen eye to eye, but I'm begging you, if you would do me this boon, if you would indeed guide my sleigh tonight. Please, I will do anything. I will humiliate myself in any manner. Please, just do this one thing for me. Well, well, well. Suddenly I'm very popular around here. Suddenly everyone is desperate to speak to Rudolf Rotschnauz. Go ahead, you could say it. Rotschnauz! Get off your knees, old man. I'm not going to ask you for any favors, anything in return. I will do this boon for you, not to curry some sort of pathetic affection, but simply to show you that one walked among you who was more noble than ever you dreamed. Rudolph was good to his word. He did indeed guide the sleigh, and when the last package was delivered, he turned his back on the village, never to return. He took a rather fashionable apartment flat in Berlin and whiled away his days, enjoying the amusing bon mot of his witty friends and dabbling in the occasional absinthe and narcotics. You know, they say when Rudolph was autopsied that his brain was 3 times the mass of a normal reindeer brain. It was very nearly that of Isaac Newton. Rudolph has always been a great inspiration to my life and art. So I visited his grave yesterday, as I do every Christmas time, and whispered to him the words, Rudolph, your nose glowed so brightly, but it could never glow brightly enough to illuminate the black ignorance of the savages who surrounded you. And yet you did the best thing you could do. You lived. Ladies and gentlemen, let that be my benediction to you. Do not descend into the despair of Christmas. Instead, live. I am Gregor of Berlin. Dankeschön. Yeah.